Hello, welcome back, everyone, to session 61 of our Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. How's everyone doing?
Not bad, not bad.
Doing good.
Thank you.
There was this noise that made me weirded out. Anyway, yeah. So, how's everyone been? It's been a couple of weeks. We're back. There's a cat out. Is that the cat? There's a baby or a cat out the window, just screaming.
I
So
hope
it's
it's
distracting me.
I hope it's a cat, not a baby.
Be a baby cat.
Maybe someone left a baby outside. Yeah, weird.
Pick
Anyway.
it
Like
up.
bassinet on your doorstep.
No.
Put it in your inventory.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's begin if everyone's ready to go.
Ooh, free baby.
Yeah. Cool. Can you hear it?
No.
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 Okay. Fine. It's just maybe a hallucination. All right. Anyway. Let's get started then. Session 61. Last we left our heroes. The party, the Adventuring Guild, had travelled from Port Edron across the Sidan Seas to Lenora, the Emerald City and capital of Acate. Second time visiting here, quite quickly. While you were still in Port Edron, however, you were ambushed and came under attack by Rodran Wood Elves, who had jumped at the opportunity to take Hanera's Hexweave for her in working for the Kayada. After surviving the fight and escaping, you learnt, Hanera, that you'd been poisoned by Silent Root. An ancient plant the Kayadar had kept in Sethel since the Age of Gods. And you learn that while the poison takes a couple of weeks to work, there's no cure except for the antidote, which Cadell promised to research for you. Whilst he was researching, you decided to obviously make your way to him so that he'll be able to help you. And you've just arrived in Lenora, with the goal being obviously Lunarion, where Cadell is living. So what would you like to do? I'm pretty sure we left off, you just arrived. You see around you a number of soldiers sort of gearing up, wagons filling with various resources, barrels of water and flour that has been created from the Hexweaves. The large logistics network at play for a war. Everyone seems rather busy and with a lot going on. You don't see like a whole bunch of civilians out on the streets. The civilians you do see are sort of involved in the war effort, so they're working in blacksmithing, they're working at repairing clothes and sewing flags and banners and that lot. So yeah, what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose it's Inera slightly who's leading this, as in where. we're
Yeah, I
gonna go
wanted to see if I could find a teleport spell.
Okay.
Maybe from Silver Shadow?
Uncommon spell, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I'd
yeah.
like to go
Okay.
find Pietro. Who's not Pietro? Cadell.
I think
Get up.
he's somewhere else.
Yeah, Cadell isn't in the city at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but isn't he like a day's walk from it?
Yeah, so it'll be a day's travel out of the city. So maybe just do whatever you need to do here before you go.
Mhm.
Before we go, I want to go see Lorandon as well.
Cool.
Nicely go with him as well.
Yeah. I guess we can do it in two groups. One group goes off and tries to find Silver Shadow, and one group tries to find Lorandon.
I'll go with Nera.
Henning, who are you gonna go with?
I'll go with unless sign. Sure.
Okay, cool. In that case, can one of you in the group of Cyan, Hanera, and Henning make a society check just to work out maybe where
I'll do it.
where Silver Shadow might be? Thank you.
Can I send Hank with them as well,
32.
just for extra Hanera protection?
Yeah, sure. 32. All right. So just kind of asking around, you hear confirmation of Silver Shadow's promotion in the Shiana, which makes her the head priest at the Sanctuary of Light. So that's probably where it's best to find her. And the Sanctuary of Light's over here. So you begin walking over
Is the head
there.
priest of the Sanctuary of Light?
She is now.
Whoa.
Yeah, you hear a guard sort of saying, "Yeah, she sort of came out of nowhere when they kicked all the other priests out. They didn't have much choice." And then, sorry, did you say something, Calcifer? What did you ask for before?
Oh, before. So I was going to. Previously, I mentioned getting a clockwork shield.
Yeah. Okay, and you want to go to London? Well, you know where he is.
Yeah.
Right, we'll start out. Okay, so we'll start out with Hanera. So Hanera, you after a short walk, you begin to walk up the polished marble steps of the Sanctuary of Light. The gardens around are mostly filled with sort of large kind of birch trees, which have been carefully planted to sort of not cover the main temple entrance. Instead, the main temple entrance has this absolutely beautiful architecture made of marble with elven sort of sigils and writing and almost like a flowery sort of look to it. As you walk in, the main temple itself seems to be like almost like a greenhouse. Like it's a kind of a glass dome built into the rock. In which there almost seems to be like a never-ending kind of magical glow coming from what seems to be like almost like a lighthouse fire. The flame is like almost like a rainbow, though. There's all sorts of magical colors, shapes, swirls, sort of coming off it, and there's a couple of priests sort of always tending to it and making sure that the fuel that's going in there is always lit. Asking around a bit, a few of the priests sort of nod over towards a figure who is stood in the far corner, who you recognize as sort of the shape of Silver Shadow, but she's now wearing the sort of priest's gown and sort of gloves and sort of covering her skin. And the sort of almost like fishbowl over her head where you can't quite see in there. But she recognizes you as you approach and she walks over. Ah, Henera, and Henning and Cyan. How can I help? Didn't realize
Hello.
you'd be back so quickly.
Yeah, I didn't realize you would have found a new occupation.
Well, old occupation maybe, or similar occupation.
Well, quite right. I was once a priest here before I was kicked out.
Right.
How
Well,
can I help you?
I was actually hoping to buy something from your shop.
Oh. Well, I have given up that poultry thing. There's not many elves in this city here who buy spells and buy magic items, so it didn't make me much.
Indeed.
But if there's anything I can do for you, of course, just ask for it.
Well, I would like to learn the teleportation spell. If you no longer have it for sale, perhaps you could teach it to me from your book?
Make a diplomacy check.
Okay, please can I use my new feat? It's called Shameless Request. So,
Let me have a look at this.
I reduced the DC by 2.
Okay.
And you can't critically fail.
Okay. Are you a master in diplomacy?
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, cool.
36.
36. Okay. She turns to you and says, well, our rules suggest that I'm not allowed to partake in currency. But you have helped, and I do owe you. Come with me. And she turns around and leads you into a small little chamber where she has like a little altar to Eretzar.
Okay.
All of
And
us
her,
or just Inera?
just Hinera. The rest of you can wait outside.
Okay.
And she leads you to the altar. and she you notice that there's a few there's a little pot of dried Achidian leaves on the side, and she says, you can have an attempt at learning the spell. If it does not stick with you, unfortunately, you'll have to try again another time.
Okay. I would like to use that hero point for this.
Okay, legend point.
Oh, legend point. I wish I could change it on the.
Yeah, me too. I think you probably can, but it would require quite a complex knowledge about how this thing works.
Yeah. Right. So 38. I don't know if that is a.
Yeah, what is... hang on.
That's okay. I've got it here. Just have to scroll down. Pick level. DC 28. So, yeah, cool. Done.
Cool. Okay, so reading the spell, Silver Shadow kind of looks over your shoulder with, I guess, an air of not jealousy but admiration at how quickly you pick it up, how your natural powers work around the weave of the sort of spell that you're trying to learn. She says, by the gods, I spent multiple years learning that one.
Yeah.
You will outshine us all, Venera.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
I hope it comes in handy.
Well, that is the plan. I hope your endeavors here goes well. I gesture broadly at the area, the environment.
She leads you out and reunites you with your friends. She says, by the way, did you have a chance to check out that temple that I asked? I don't suppose you've been around Herazdan yet.
No.
It's alright if not. I can send someone else to do it. But I've just heard that there's.
Yeah.
It's behind enemy lines, so it's hard to get to.
You found it by looking through the veil. Is that right?
I found that there's a rift there, yes, and it could get out of hand if not dealt with. And I'm not sure I trust the enemy to deal with it. Herazdan
Oh, yeah.
is.
I see it now.
It's where all the dead people were, right? No.
No, it was.
No. It's the
yeah.
city that's all dead.
Yeah. You went there. That's where Cadell first got attacked by those Shade Wielders, and you lot ran off. All right. That being said, going over to the other group. You arrive in a very busy Emerald Armory. A whole bunch of helpers are trying to decommission a number of armor plating on the Stone Guards' torsos. They're all lined up one after the other, and there's like a sort of very sweaty atmosphere. It's very hot and very humid as arcane welding torches are blasting. You see Larandon sort of barking instructions, wearing a big set of goggles, and he turns around and notices you.
Sweet.
My least favourite non-elves.
Your least favorite non.
Well, I don't know many non-elves, to be fair, but good to see you again.
Alright, good. A little confused by the introduction, but yeah, nice to see you.
It's alright, it's all the fumes that I've been working with that gets to your head.
Been keeping busy?
Listen, I've been the most busy out of anyone in this city, I imagine.
What's going on with the Stone Guard then?
It's a nightmare. We're currently working overtime. There's no guarantee, after all this trouble with the folds, that they didn't give away the technology that they used. to someone else, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's less about fixing the stone guard and more about inventing a new mechanism of controlling them, which is going to take a while. So unfortunately, the city is still very undefended.
That sucks.
Yes, well, it's almost like your meeting here was a coincidence, because if anyone's going to have the sort of things I need, it might be you. You don't happen... Oh, go on.
No, sorry. It's like I can't quite. I'm trying to check from my notes, but Ranakin, because he asks us to test things, and I can't quite remember what he asked us to test last time.
He gave you that arrow catch thingy, where it was like a thing that catches arrows that just like passively so it goes around you, but I don't think you have been like using it necessarily.
No, we've not.
Like you need to set it up and have it activated basically to work. But it can't be in your bag, it has to be sort of out.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Good reminder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can try to procure or hopefully have what you need, but it could be tricky.
Well, you haven't happened to go to the Underdark anytime soon, have you? Or anytime recently?
Can't say.
Recently, but...
Can't say I've ever been.
Well, one of these days an adventuring group will pass the city who have. Anyway, you are back. I mean, how long's it been? I've been working pretty much full on. A week or so?
A week, a month, couple weeks, probably.
Something like that.
Feels longer.
And how's things on your side? Have you been up to much?
Well, part of that is actually why we're here. So I kind of got two orders of business. One is, just some things I want to buy. Figure probably no one else around here that's going to have the kind of stuff that we need. Second is, we're kind of we're actually starting a city.
You're doing what?
We're yeah. I was a bit surprised how things went too. But yeah. We're building a new city. We all recently came into a decent chunk of change.
His eyebrow raises.
And when we say chunk of change, we mean chunk of change, millions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that boat you captured, or?
We can maybe go through that stuff a bit later when it's a bit more out in the open. But,
okay.
I'm sure
keep it under wraps. So yeah, I see. Fair enough.
Yeah, there's only so long that much gold can go around before people start to notice. But we'd like to maybe keep it hush while we can. Anyway, we've now got a lot of gold, and personally, I'd quite like for this city to have, top-notch facilities for creating stuff. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I see why you've come.
Yeah, but
you've come.
I'm poaching. I'm here to poach. Let's be upfront about it.
Oh, let me be upfront. You're not poaching any of my staff here. Let me tell you. If you're asking for my blessing to poach all my staff, there's no chance.
I was actually hoping to poach you.
Huh? He looks at you. He's like, "You're being serious?"
Dead serious.
I have the most prestigious job I could imagine. What could you possibly offer me?
Well, you're obviously proud of your work. You want to do the best job you can, right? Make new inventions, create the best stuff this continent has ever seen. I want to enable you to do that. And, I was going to kind of just see what it would take to make that happen.
Just to add on, I would add that the location of our city is in a much more desirable location to access the rest of the world. Something that might be a bit more tricky for you here.
So you're
Maybe.
saying I'll have an opportunity to create a franchise?
Potentially, yeah. Not
Well,
yeah, I'm not saying like, oh, you need to move there and stay there forever and never come back in. Like, but
make it a diplomacy check for him.
Can I aid?
Yeah, you can aid.
I'm
I'd like-
master, which is annoying. I wish I could take the check, but it's probably you doing the.
I would like to use a legend point.
Sure, go on.
27 plus to 37.
Plus 2
Effectively.
for the. Oh wait, I need to roll. For
You need,
the-
yeah, you need to beat a 20 DC.
And it's on the relevant trait, so I guess diplomacy and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 20 for plus 1, 30 for plus 2.
Oh no, I'm deception master. Only an expert. 24.
It's a plus 1.
Okay, so
38.
28 1 degree higher.
So he says, well, I tell you, I am interested. Don't get me wrong. I think that would be an absolutely amazing idea. The timing of it is a little strange, though, as I am currently engrossed in a conflict that might kill me.
Yeah, I can see you're pretty busy.
But I'll tell you this. I will be absolutely on board with helping your city have the finest laboratory and construction site anywhere on Earth. But I'll need something to show that you can make it worth my while. If I can get the Stone Guard up and running again, and hopefully that my new creations are not so easily messed with, I'll be free to come and help out. But until then, I can't leave the city. And there's a piece of equipment that I need for that.
What do you need?
It's an ancient kind of ore that's found deep in underground. Some say that the Underdark might have a large store of it, but it doesn't seem to be very much on the market right now.
Alright.
But when this ore is combined with Dragon's Breath, then we can use it for various magical devices. And obviously, there being no dragons is another concern.
Yeah.
Where could we get to the Underdark?
Well, pretty much every cave network in the mountains north of us has some access to the Underdark deep within it. It's very difficult to find, but
Assume this ore isn't actually isn't that commonplace down there either, right? Otherwise, someone would have been down there and made it widely available.
well, it's not necessarily the ore is common enough, but the hardest part is getting the ore after it has been infused with Dragon's Breath before it's been mined.
Oh, you have to infuse it with Dragon's Breath, then mine it.
Then mine it, yes.
Why is that?
It's something about how it interacts with the mountainside. Honestly, I don't know, but it is. Yes, it is elusive to us. Obviously, it's not just dragons that are affected; it's other creatures like behirs and basilisks can occasionally do things like that as well.
So we need some form of Dragon Breath adjacent
What's
ability.
the dragon whelp? Does it have to be a full-blown creature?
I don't know, but I have heard of obviously different kinds of elemental breath kind of things working. I haven't tested it with magic either. It might work with some sorts of elemental magic as well.
Or if we could find a dragonborn.
Oh, well, if you could find one of those, of course. There doesn't seem to be many in the Underdark, I expect.
No, I have only met one in my time.
But obviously the standard sort of things apply, that if you are to venture so deep down, you have to be prepared for anything down there. There's some horrible monsters down there.
All right. See what we can do about that. Might see if any Anera might be able to figure something out with oh, maybe she can summon a dragon or something. I've never asked her to try.
Yes, well, so yes, obviously the ore can just be, it's just mithril, right? It's just mithril ore, but it has to be infused with this sort of thing before it's been mined. Unfortunately, a lot of the surface mines have long been mined out.
All right. Okay. How much do you need?
As much as you can, guess. We don't need much for each golem. I would say like a lump of it, which I think is a lump a standard size. What is it? I can't remember how big it is.
There's a mithril chunk.
It's chunk.
A chunk is 500 gold, and an ingot is 5,000. So presumably there's 10 chunks to an ingot.
Yeah.
There's some processing involved.
So a chunk can do 10 golems.
How many golems do you have?
We have in this. I mean, we only have them in this city, but there's 100 golems in this city.
Right, so you need about 10 chunks.
About 10 chunks, and then any more than that will be in excess, which will be extra good because we can make some more.
Maybe even some for to be named.
Yes. So if you can make that happen, give it a try. But if you can get yourself hands of this infused mithril as well, if you can get yourself find someone who can sell it or anything like that, then that might be a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. Maybe see what we can figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a bit more trivial matter. Just some stuff I was looking to buy.
Oh yes, of course.
I don't suppose you have any clockwork shields.
Ah, well.
Funny,
You should mention that. We have clockwork and shields. I could probably whip something up for you.
Excellent.
Yeah, so he can do that for you very quickly. He's got a little machine that he just wears together, and to your specifications and to the price that we talked about.
Okay. So it's
Cool.
Sorry, did you say it was like a little over normal or just the standard pricing?
How much is the standard?
1,300.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Also a bit even more trivially, just looking to buy an extending rune and a shock rune.
Oh yes, of course.
If you could include them in there, amazing. If not, I can put them on in my spare time.
He can if you pay him to do that as well.
Yeah, sure. So, but for the three of those, that's 2,500.
Cool.
So I don't know if he wants to add on a bit for the infusion.
Yeah, say 2,600.
Cool.
So after a couple of minutes, him wearing together this beautiful clockwork shield, which does all the things that you asked him to make it to do, he hands it over to you. Thank you very much. That will help towards the war effort.
All right, fantastic. Don't worry, the tiny gold pieces they'll get bigger later.
Yes, I noticed that completely. I thought it was just human currency. Very well.
A couple thoughts from me, if I may. Similarly trivial, perhaps. The first is whether or not I could have a couple flaming runes.
Flaming runes, of course.
The
What's the
standard
price?
one, I think it's 500.
500. Just so normal one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be 1,000 for 2.
Cool. And can we take greater ones at this point? I don't think we can we?
It's a bit too high level for it.
Yeah, I was going to say item 15. Okay, yeah, a couple of those. And my second question was whether or not you'd ever come across anything that would either enable or allow, or an item or something, for fire resistance.
Yes, I'm sure.
We've actually got someone in the back. Those Hellfire boots.
I noted those, but I'm not sure if that is all. Hold on, I need to remind myself what the value is on that, because of the certain abilities I've got in mind.
He says, I can sell you a charm of resistance.
You gain resistance 10 to 5 damage. A charm of resistance. What is this?
It is a charm, normally hung from the belt or worn around the neck, which grants you resistance against a type of energy damage. I can make it in acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic. Oh no, I can't.
And what is the value of this? If we had to put a number on it, not the price, but the value of the resistance.
No, it'll be 5 resistance. To start with.
5 international units of damage.
Yeah.
And then we have a greater one as well in stock, which can give you 10 resistance.
Well, these boots provide probably enough for now, but a moderate one would be helpful.
The greater charm of resistance.
The standard one. The 5.
Oh right, the 5, yes.
How much is
that will be 245 gold pieces for that one.
Wonderful.
And what would you like it in?
Fire.
Very well. He just whisks away to his machine and comes back with a gold chain wrapped around a sort of red glowing gem that seems to almost the flames that kind of surround you in your vision are almost drawn to it as it moves through the air, and it sort of almost has a cooling effect when you put it on, like you feel a bit cooler, almost as if it absorbs the heat.
Cool. I'm very excited. Is it pretty blingy?
Yeah, it looks like a ruby, like a fire ruby or something.
Yeah.
Maybe with a bit of orange in there as well.
What's it called? Just so I can add it.
It's a charm of resistance. It's on the new. Yeah, it's in the GM core, so I'm not sure it's going to be on.
No, I can't see it.
It's...
Ring of energy resistance.
I'll send it to you.
If you search on Nethys, it should show up, and it will they'll have a little link to what it previously was.
I will set it up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And he says, "Is that everything then for you?"
That's it for me.
It is for me as well. Thank you.
Very well. Keep in mind, that's kind of my price, is the golem thing. Until then, I can't really leave the city. So hopefully we don't get invaded and I die and all my secrets are lost to time.
Yeah, that's awkward foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing? What's that?
That's what I was thinking too. Like, they're gonna show up, there's gonna be an invasion going on.
Well, my psychic sort of apparitions, whatever, now have gone, and now I'm seeing the future. No longer seeing the future, clearly. Anyway, I've got to get back to work. So if you just make your way out of the entrance or exit, depending on your frame of reference, I'm sure I'll see you around.
All right, see you in a bit.
Okay, so you then leave his arm. Are you going to meet up with the rest of the group now?
Yeah.
Where are you all meeting up?
Obviously, the pre-decided thing that we'd said before we all split up.
Back at the garrison.
Yeah.
Right, meet back here at 5. All right. All right. So a good part of the sort of early part of the day now having passed, you re-meet up by the sort of by the waterfront. Meet at a nice little cafe serving sparkling water. What would you like to do next?
Can I just check everyone's okay with me using their Hellfire boots?
Fine with me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think we talked about it before, but just double checking.
I've
I
already
need to
got some
double check how
boots.
resistance works. Is it stack
Wait.
or is it?
I
I
do have
think
a
it's your
question
highest.
about
Oh.
the Hellfire boots. They give resistance to fire damage, right?
Yes.
Are you going to be casting lots of fire damage spells on Hanera? In
Well,
the future.
well, ideally not, but you know, if everyone gets in the way.
Okay, if you cast another one onto her, she's gonna ask you to give them to her for the future. But for now, you can keep them.
So if they stack,
Yeah, they don't stack.
they don't stack.
So it's whatever your
So,
highest.
well, I can just like throw Hanera the amulet I just got. It gives 5 resistance, and say call it an insurance policy.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called an amulet, a charm of resistance.
Yeah, I
fire,
put it in. I
gives
put it
5
in the chat.
resistance.
FYI.
Yeah, but just to be sure, that's not carte blanche to just start blasting.
No,
Well,
please,
well,
don't
So
just
some of us
throw
still-
fire at us.
You know,
Well, that's
if
still
anybody
very
is
much
aware of
vulnerable
an
to
item
fire.
that makes you all impervious to my own fire attacks, I would be very much appreciated to know what it is.
Does it have a name?
Until then, can you
It's
please?
not. It's right, sorry,
Ring
guys.
of-
It's charm of resistance, but it's not on the compendium in Foundry yet.
That's okay. It's
on
ring.
the-
It used to be ring of energy resistance.
Okay.
I'll just put that in. And then...
FYI, just remember when you're investing in magic items, you can have up to 10
Yeah.
invested at once. So it's not like 5e where you only get what 3 is it? I don't
Quite
remember.
the
Yeah, it's
upgrade.
3, unless you're an
Yeah.
artificer where it becomes 6.
Yeah, so like you shouldn't have to worry about maybe I can't invest in this yet. Chances are you probably can invest in more stuff.
Mhm.
So if there's any like extra little thing, like you could have 5 charms of resistance. You know, like I'll just only
It's
take up
a
5.
total
investments.
bling.
Is it just a regular one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Oh.
general. Cool. All right. So yeah. What are you getting yourself up to?
Well, I don't really think we've got much left to do here, do we?
Well, are we looking for Cadell now?
I believe so. I mean, we know where he is, roundabouts.
Yeah, Lunarion, Nick says.
Oh,
Yeah, so no reason not to head back out there.
you know, you've been here my entire life, and I'm still never used to you just popping in and out of existence like that. Let's.
Well, maybe you should be more aware.
I'm very aware. I am a master of perception.
All right, so sort of getting up and making your way downtown, out of the gates, down the Padrons Road. Obviously not many people coming through this road as you make your way onto the outside of the city. You're okay with leaving, yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Nice. All right. So as you hit back to the road, I mean, you've been on this road before, coming into the city, and now leaving the city again, heading towards Lunarion. Eventually, I mean, the road's quite empty, but after a couple of hours of walking, you see a couple of weary-looking soldiers, kind of walking on opposite the road on the way to the capital. They sort of walk past you. They just don't really pay you much heed. And then about 5 minutes later, you notice a couple more. And then eventually, like, the road seems to become a bit more clogged with baggage trains and civilians and wounded soldiers traveling with them that are starting to walk by. It's starting to look like a thing. But you can just push on if you want.
Where's the? Hold on. Where's the? You sent a recent image, didn't you, about where the battle lines are at the moment?
Yeah. So your last reported ones are in the Adana map. So you get an update of that every week.
Yeah, that's right. Because you always do your helpful thing. Okay. So I wonder where these soldiers are coming from.
Probably the war.
Yeah, correct. But which front?
You could ask them. Nick says.
Thanks, Nix. You can do that yourself.
I'm invisible.
Yeah, very
Don't scare
convenient.
them.
Okay, fine. Hey, you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very gruff accent for an elf.
Oh, I'm ill.
I see. All that fighting.
Yes. Yes, it was awful. They attacked in Merenian. The troops are retreating. They've retreated to the Meria Bridge to defend against the river.
The Merin Bridge.
The Meria Bridge.
Oh.
Marion Bridge, sorry, I'm afraid. My knowledge was wrong.
Merin Bridge, I say. That is quite near, all things considered.
Yes, well, we hope. Someone else jumps in. We hope that Lenora can send reinforcements. We're going to need everyone we can get. And the first person said, they fought like animals, like beasts. Never seen soldiers so bloodthirsty.
Were they actually soldiers? You are coming from Haiden Aran, yes? They were coming that way.
We came from Merenian. We were stationed there.
No, I apologies. I meant your combatants. Did they seem like elves?
Oh yes, they came from the road. They've been massing for a couple of weeks now at this point, and at night they attacked, but we barely held on, and then the order was given to abandon the city.
I see. I mean, that is surprising. No, it is. That is quite an outcome. Are you sure these were elves you were fighting?
Well, yes, they were wearing the insignias and the armor of House Ignis and House Caden.
Oh, well, that is a relief. He kind of looks to the others. I'm surprised that that there is not more soldiers coming to this front. It is strategically important that Lenora is not challenged on its south. If they reach Kerin Tor or the road, then that is bad.
Yes. Well, there is a fortress at Merin Bridge, which is a lot easier to defend against. We hope that we can hold them off there for longer. We don't want to be outflanked.
Right. Okay. Well, you're nearly back in Lenora.
Yes. Well, we must carry on. Our injuries need looking to.
Very well.
Vance kind of appears, just visible to you lot. The circle is near where they'll be putting up their battle lines if they're being given access to that entire side of the river. You have to be careful.
We're not crossing the river at the moment.
No, but
No.
But if you are heading towards the circle, there's a chance that you might meet scouts and all that lot.
Scouts we can deal with. It's larger forces that we'd have a problem with.
Nick says, I hope Lunarian's okay. And Vance says, well, of course they'd be okay. They haven't crossed the Meria Bridge. And the river itself, it's 150 feet across, 150 meters across. It will take a bit more than that to get across the river. So.
It feels like more men need to be put here regardless.
I'm sure that Prince Holtesius knows what he's doing. Nick says.
Well, I hope so. I am concerned. I wonder what happened to the horde of undead that we saw near the Black Witch.
Well, they did seem smarter than a lot of others. Well, the other undead that we fought beneath the temple, or at least one of them seemed smarter. I imagine what we saw is probably merely a fraction of what their whole idea is. You know, intelligent undead isn't exactly something that happens commonly. Well, to my knowledge at least.
Hmm. Yes, well, the undead. I'm not sure whether they were cursed to never leave that area or whether they can. Nick says.
Let's hope it's the first one.
Because remember, they're ultimately still working for a Shad above all else.
Well, I'm sure he was. If they were dormant, they would not be too pleased with what we did in Lenora a couple of months ago.
I think even if they are stuck there, it will be a hazard for any army wanting to move through that direction.
Yes.
Which we might be able to use to our own advantage now and then.
Quite possibly.
But obviously, it's something we may want to look at finishing off before too long.
Hanera, suddenly a shooting pain shoots across your shoulder where the wound is. Sort of almost drops you to the ground before it subsides after a few seconds later.
Hello? Oh. Ow. Is it really painful? Like, I've been
Yeah,
stabbed?
it's almost like you're being stabbed again there.
Please can we go and see Canal?
Yeah, I think we've had enough chat.
ASAP.
Yeah, I assume you're
I assume you're walking.
walking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just imagine, like, if you're walking and talking, you're probably walking slower.
Yeah, Hanera's like not in tip-top shape to be walking at the moment, but you don't have any carts or anything. So you
She
just
can ride Hank.
Oh yeah, you can ride Hank if you want.
Yeah, thanks.
Hank sort of kneels down, goes, ruff, ruff, and sort of just lets you hop on. And then he's sort of bounding forward, just jumping around with you on top. Woo. All right. After a good day's worth of travel, as the sun begins to set, you crest a ridge with the lake to your right, and ahead of you, you see the small town of Lunarion, with the Savas, with their grand sort of library built onto the waterfront. A sort of shining beacon of elven architecture, with a small little city just outside of the walls. It looks very peaceful. It looks very calming. And as you descend down, you arrive very, very promptly at the house where Cadell and Isolde were before. Knocking on the door, Cadell opens up, dressed in an apron, halfway through baking something, with his hair put up in a sort of bun. Oh, well, welcome. Come on in, all of you. You arrived very quickly. I'm very impressed.
Well, we had a issue of high import, as you know.
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, Isolde is working late tonight. If you don't mind. She sends her love. I don't know how quickly you will be here. I've got some news. Anyway, carry on. In you come.
I just
He sort
pull
sort of
down my
arches it.
top and show him the big scar.
He looks at it and goes, "Oh dear,
Yeah.
that is worse than I imagined." All right, come on, Hanera, sit down. He leads you to a small little table where he just sits you down on a chair next to it.
What's the room like? Is it quite nice? Lots of shiny stuff.
Yeah, it's got a lot of books. It's very homely. It's more like a living room with Cadell's got a little little desk with just a whole bunch of books that seem to have resources on ancient remedies and recipes. He says Isolde managed to weasel some of these out of the Savas archives. Some of these go all the way to the Age of Gods in terms of their knowledge, so it is as best as I can do. All right, do you want to hear the good news or the bad news?
Bad news first. Always bad news first.
Okay. Well, the bad news is there's nothing I can do for you.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
that is quite bad news.
Yeah,
actually.
that's very bad.
What's the good news?
I know someone who might be able to help. It is
That is something that you can do for me.
well, this person doesn't like me very much.
Does
But
anyone like you very much?
He just looks at you and just ignores you. So I had a bit of a moral crisis when you were on your way here, just to warn you.
Right.
If you were anyone else, I would have told you there's nothing I can do for you, full stop, and I would have just let you die.
Right.
So I went through the archives from the from the Savas, and I found that indeed this silent root has one antidote, and that is made from the plant, which is currently extinct. But I do know a wizard who has expertise in the matters of time travel.
You want us to send us back in time for an extinct plant?
Yes. Well, I don't want you to do that. This is why I had a moral crisis, because you could fuck a lot of things up, but you also kind of saved my life, so I feel obligated to tell you that.
Okay. Well, thank you. Who is this wizard?
Well, hopefully you will not be meeting him, because he doesn't like me very much, but I can sneak you into his tower, where he has an artifact that he doesn't know that I know he has.
Right.
So
Okay.
we're doing a heist on a wizard.
Heist.
You know, that
Yes.
sounds like a terrible idea.
This
Well, the
sounds like a
alternative is
great
Hanera.
idea.
Yeah, not
Well, the alternative is Hanera is going to have a very painful death in about a week.
Or do we go see the Sayonara? Not Sayonara.
I would like to try the wizard option first. Where is this wizard tower?
I can get you in and out. Don't worry about that. It will be a quick journey. The
Yeah,
hardest
alright.
the hardest part, I will not be able to go with you because there has to be someone on this side keeping the link going.
You
Right.
know, I'm very open for doing this job. This sounds like totally my thing. Especially if your fireplace is still going when it is, I get to wait.
So, just to warn you, this wizard will not be very happy if he catches us. We've got to be very stealthy.
What's this wizard's name?
It doesn't
cool.
matter. What do you want to know? It doesn't matter. I just want you to understand that he's not going to be very happy. It's better if you don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
as long as
I
it
would
is
rather
the-
not know.
As long as it is not Narusa Tower or something.
No. I hope it's not Rosetta. Definitely not.
That would be not good.
But that being said, I can get you there whenever you're ready.
I'm ready when everyone else is.
Wait,
Should we not rest first before otherwise
Oh.
we get exhausted?
Do we need to? Have we rested since the city?
You've
Well,
you've just travelled here all day, so
I assume we also, yeah,
It's like a good day's worth of travel that you've done. So it's like coming up to midnight, so it's probably best if you have a rest. Before.
Okay. Right. I
Uh,
will.
So he says, so, okay. Anyway, so that's kind of good news, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
It sounds like a brilliant idea.
So, this artifact is known as a time stone. It is a stone which sends you through time. And if you go to the Age of Gods, hopefully you'll be able to find that plan.
Hold on, how do we get back?
Oh, well, at least that's something that is controllable. It only lasts for a week maximum when you're there, and then it pulls you back.
To the
Hopefully-
exact time that we used it, or is it
Well,
matter of we spend a week there, we come back a week later?
Well, I don't entirely know, but from what I can guess, it is whenever I turn it off, right? So I have to turn it off on the other side,
Right.
and then you come back.
And just one more question. Say, for example, I hit I don't know, a random creature, a butterfly. What happens today?
Well, I also don't know. Let me be very clear. From what I could tell when I was sneaking around this wizard's stuff, it tends to have a bit of a bubble around it that limits the amount you can really affect things. So it might mean that you kind of blend into the background a lot more. But if you really tried, you could really mess things up. So just be on your best behavior.
So it sort of tries to like correct course
yeah.
as best
As
it
long as
can.
it is correctable, basically. But hopefully, picking a plant shouldn't do much for it.
Hmm.
So before we all go, we should all agree and make sure we all agree no fucking up the pastron no matter what, right?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really trying
What's-
to do that.
Hey, what's the worst that could happen?
Don't you fucking dare! Don't you fucking dare say that!
Whereabouts will this take? So, do you know where this tower is? It is not like here. Sorry, where the stone will take us when we use it. Is it the same place?
Well, I was thinking that, and it seems to work psychically. So as long as there's some way that you can imagine the Age of Gods, or you have someone with you that can do that.
But the place within the Age of Gods, where did this flower originally bloom?
Oh, well, from my readings of the records, it used to bloom all across Akate and Rojana as well. So hopefully it shouldn't be that hard.
So we pick up the plan and sincerely hope that we can go back to our own time in Whoosh.
Yes, you'll have a kind of equivalent time stone on your side, so you can always just bring yourself back at any time you wish. So hopefully you get it and then go. Oh, another thing, you also will have to stay quite close together. You're not going to be able to split up with it. The bubble that goes around the time stone, you can't really leave it.
How far?
Not- I think it's like 20 feet or 30 feet or something.
Oh, that is pretty narrow.
Yeah, so you kind of have to stick together.
Oh, great! I had to spend the whole week with these guys.
But yeah. Anyway, get some rest, I guess, and then we will go tomorrow if that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds
Now,
great.
while I remember, before we go in, everyone just make sure you're not got like any bugs on you or anything, because if they don't exist, then
I think it sounds like the time I don't know, it's like a bug zapper around 30 feet radius of us.
how far back are we going?
It'll be about 15,000 years or something.
Ah.
Wait. If hypothetically someone was from the Age of Gods and then bumped into themselves from the Age of Gods, what would happen then? Just as a
they-
thought.
Are you
Oh,
from the Age of Gods?
I don't know. Let's try not to make that happen. And if you meet any gods, by the way, it's the Age of Gods. If you meet any gods, don't tell them that you're from the future. By any chance, please don't do that. And don't
Yeah,
tell them that
probably
they all
won't.
die as well. Uh,
That's spoilers.
that would be spoilers.
You just said gods, shouldn't they know already?
Cadell,
Yes.
how old are you?
Don't ask me that question. It's very embarrassing.
Well, I'm just wondering, is there a chance we run into you?
Oh, he's like does some mental calculations. I wasn't on Erd around that time.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. I was worrying, like, because you sound like you think you've done some emotional change at the very least, but you know, we could have bumped into you when you were a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty awkward if we bumped into you. You tried to kill us for something. I know, because it sounds like maybe you had a weird past. You tried to kill us, we kill you, and now you haven't sent us back in time because we've killed you in the past. But then, because we haven't killed you in the past, because we haven't been sent back, then you see where I'm going, right?
Hey, I used to be good back then.
So
You
it's a
say
bit of
that.
it's a bit of like a up and down type thing then.
Well, yes, maybe it's maybe a thing for another story, but I lost my home, and then everything went downhill from there.
Well,
I'll do it.
I mean, I'm gonna sit down and just kind of chills out. I'm just ready for when we're ready.
Well, anyway, I've got some cookies on if anyone wants any.
Ooh, cookie.
Is that something you do a lot? Do you just bake in your free time?
Well, I haven't really had much going on recently. You took my gloomstone, so I can't investigate that. And as for the rest of the things, I've just been living the house husband experience, I guess.
I haven't really expected you to be the baking type.
Well, maybe you should try these. And he pulls out of the oven kind of rock cakes. It looks like they look very, very tough.
Lovely.
But they're in like the vague shape of a demon.
My God, of course they are.
It's like these are they're luxuries from home.
I'd love to try one.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it's extremely hot in the center. Like, it feels
It's gonna bite
feels
down.
almost painful.
Cascus, do you have those boots on?
I'm not taking my boots off, so you can just take some cookies out the oven.
Oh,
I got
that's
some milk
tempting.
as well. He gives you some milk.
Is
Like
it
being
a
back at
common
home.
thing back home where you would have to drink milk after, or is it a matter of people from your place were just very good with hot things?
Not to soothe
Well,
the burns.
Milk is more of an Erd thing. I've not seen any other realms that have milk or drink milk. So
because it's
it's more of a
automatic.
thing since I've come here. Yeah.
And I'd never really thought about whether demons and devils make milk.
No, they
Oh,
tend to eat
no.
souls and stuff. It's not entirely very pleasant.
Soul
Only
milk.
like mammals would.
Uh,
Are
Well-
demons mammals?
I mean,
Some
you're
of
like a
them.
tiger,
Let me
right?
tell you.
Like, how'd that tiger thing come about, right? Because, like, obviously it looks pretty similar.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is actually a kind of side effect of my home's destruction.
Is that how the hands? Is that an injury?
Oh no, that was it. Listen, we got invaded by quite an evil, what you describe as a god, and he, out of fun, cursed our people to look like that.
Oh.
Yeah. He then
What was his
enslaved
name?
us.
Oh. Fun.
Well, yeah. His name has been lost to time, thank God. I purged it out of my mind.
Oh, okay. That bad then.
Well, anyway, cheerful conversation. I'm going to go to bed.
I feel like he's got like 1,000-yard stare going on.
Yeah,
Henning's
he,
gonna grab another cookie.
Henning, stop eating those. You're going to burn your taste buds off.
it's just wolfing down all the cookies. Yeah, they're nice. They are hot and extremely tough on the teeth, but once you do get through their brittle exterior, then yeah, they're fine.
Better than rations.
That's true.
At least,
They do seem to be made out of the same kind of flour that a lot of the elves eat. And so's the milk as well.
Ooh.
Well, that being said, is there any last bits that you wanted to do before you got to the next day?
Yeah, I'm just thinking which spells I should prepare because I can only prepare one from my spell book. I don't actually have those dragon spells, by the way. I just wanted to show you them.
Yeah, that they are a thing.
it's a common 5th level spell, so very accessible.
Yeah. Although, dragon form way cooler. So
That does sound way cooler. I'm also
I
pretty sure that's a thing barbarians can do at some point, depending on which barbarian you are.
Yeah, you can turn into a dragon. Should we have a break here now then?
okay,
Sure.
We'll come back in 15 minutes then. Alright, there we go.
I think
Alright.
I'll take teleport.
See you in a bizzle.
No.
Hello, welcome back. So just before the break, the party had arrived at Lunarion, where they met Cadell, and was told that the only chance of saving Hanera is to sneak into an unnamed wizard's tower and use a very powerful piece of technology to transport you all the way back to the Age of Gods. So with that on your mind, you all get some rest. As much rest as you can get with that upcoming thing happening. But you get a 4 nights rest in comfort. You wake up the next morning, ready to go. Cadell, not seemingly in the building when you all wake up, clearly doing some sort of errand. It just gives you some time to have a chat if you want, or get your things ready.
Right. So.
Vance appears.
Okay.
Just remember, I've been hiding myself because I don't want that person to know that I'm here.
Do you have a history?
I don't want to explain that.
Oh, you have a hit. Oh, you were lovers, weren't you? You're lovers now. I don't
Right.
care
Was
if
it
it's real or not.
was it a bit of a-
It's canon in my head.
Was it a messy breakup?
Yeah.
Hey, let's stick to the point here.
Do you want to talk about it?
I can try and guide us to wherever we need to go. I have a good memory of the Age of Gods, as I lived through it. And then Nyx appears and she says, "Yes, I do as well. Remember that."
Did Nyx come with us?
Well, yeah, Nyx is tied to me.
Oh,
She-
that makes. But does time make it different?
I imagine that it'll be okay, but we'll see.
Will we meet Nick?
Hey, let's let's not worry about that.
that was my concern. Like, what if Vance meets other Vance, and then I don't know, they touch and it creates like a paradox or something.
Oh, that is a point, Vance says. You can't all be, even though it will sort of blend you into the background, you still can't be walking around as creatures that haven't been invented yet.
That's disappointing.
Well, I've been invented yet. I'm in Azira.
Right, yes, of course, but it's probably best you all disguise yourselves. I can help, by the way. Now
I
that
mean,
I have
that
my magic back. I could disguise you all as nameless immortal elves, but other than that.
could I just be me then?
That would work.
Well, yes, you probably don't need any disguise.
I mean, I can just stay as an elf.
I might need a smidge.
That's all right. I will help you out when we get there. Then, good luck. He just appears as, silence return.
So, this wizard, I imagine he's going to have magical traps up the wazoo for an artifact this powerful. Is the plan we just rush in and take it and run out, or are we going to be sneaky?
Well, I think we should try and be sneaky.
I thought by the sounds of it, we were using it there. In place. I assume he's not home, that he's off somewhere doing something.
I would rather let's not put our eggs in that particular basket. I would prefer we plan for the possibility that he is there and we have to fight a super powerful fuck off wizard.
Yeah, also, if he finds us in his house, and then we start beating him up,
We're in the wrong.
yeah, that's not really a great look for us, is it?
It's just home invasion.
Yeah, like ultimately what we may have done there, especially if he's a lot less powerful than we might be imagining, is we've broken into an old man's house and beaten him up.
Are we sure this guy is even a wizard and our dear friend isn't just making things up to make it look like you know, he's not a bad guy for suggesting this.
I mean, he didn't have to.
I don't feel like he's giving us the vibe that he's not a bad person for suggesting this.
Yeah, he has been very open about the fact that we should not trust him ever.
Yeah, but I don't really have a choice. You guys don't have to come.
I mean, we kind of do have to come.
Yeah, you do. I'm just saying that to be nice.
I mean, it's not really nice when it's empty, you know, and everyone knows it's empty.
All right.
The door opens and Cadell comes in carrying a sort of bag of groceries, just apples and potatoes and sticks of celery. Oh, you're all up.
Yep.
He sets it down on the table. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Are these part of the plan?
I did.
With the vegetables?
Yeah.
No, that's there for dinner. Hopefully you'll be done by then.
But yes, I did bring up this point. How powerful is this wizard we're walking into? Like, his tower? Because, like, are we going to have to prepare for, like, magical traps? This, that, and the other.
I think if he catches us, we'll be able to talk ourselves out of it. I'm not sure he'll want to kill me. It's the thing. We'll get there if we get there.
Is he your ex?
Yeah, I'm sure he wishes. Let me tell you. But in all seriousness, let's not try and be super obvious. But it shouldn't take too long, hopefully, from at least my perspective. Whether it's a week for you or not,
Okay, well,
it's a matter of
don't.
flicking a switch for me.
I stand up and kind of use my armor on reaction.
All right.
Just gonna test out my new shield. Do
And then,
the throw and have it return.
Okay. So
use
your
the armor off because I realize it's the armor because it's not stealthy.
sort of like an arcane armor sort of engulfs your body quickly and then vanishes when you command it.
Mhm.
Your clockwork shield, Calcifer. It seems very well constructed. As you throw it, it sort of almost it just knows its way back to your hand. All right, so Cadell throws the contents of the bag onto the countertop, and then he sets it down. This like almost paper. It looks like a paper bag. He sets it down on the ground, and he sort of pulls out a little magic wand and just taps it, and he says, "After you all." And he just sort of points at the bag.
You want us to climb in that?
Yes. In you go.
I don't like this plan anymore. I say just
How
climb
big is the opening for this bag?
You can probably squeeze yourself in it.
This is very demeaning.
Hey, I have to get in as well.
All right, Ank
Yes,
in the
get-
shield.
get this over.
Zaps into the shield.
Okay, well,
I'll just jump in.
Let's put the biggest ones in through first.
Henning's
All
gonna
right.
dive in head
Yeah.
first.
If I get stuck, it's gonna need the lot of you to pull me out. So
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
going in.
already in.
One by one, you climb into the bag. Being transported what seems to be a very narrow, almost paper bag pocket dimension, where all the walls and ground is all made out of rustling paper. It's a bit of a squeeze, and you all climb in one after the other, and you're practically kind of just all overlapping each other and sort of almost half sitting on each other. As Cadell then squeezes in, too. How's everyone doing? Sitting comfortably?
I've been better.
Cer-
Cozy.
Certainly cozy in here, isn't it?
No one fart or we're all dead.
You know, it's a good thing my hellfire boots are not turned on.
So Cadell sort of closes the top of the bag and sort of shuts you all in, and then he pulls out his wand again and goes bippity boppity boop, and then nothing seems to change until he opens up the roof of the bag again and sort of sticks his head out. Here we are, and he climbs out and just sort of beckons you all to climb out as well.
I'm sorry.
Climb up.
Is the activation term bippity boppity boop.
It seems to work the best when I do. As he pulls you out, you notice that you're now in a storage cupboard. In the corner of the room, that you are climbing out of is a bag of holding, which has just been sort of cast aside there. And one by one, you sort of get out into the midst of this storage closet. There's a few broomsticks, a few buckets, things like that. Tins of paint.
Is it dusty, or is it like?
It's fairly dusty. It's not. It doesn't seem to be used that much. But as you are climbing out, Cadell kind of opens up the door leading into the closet and just peers around. I forgot how beautiful it was. As he opens it up, this is what you see. A grand library sort of protruding out of what seems to be a kind of some sort of floating asteroid, maybe.
Where are we seeing this?
Are we supposed to see
Oh,
something?
hang on. You're supposed to see
Oh,
this.
There we go. Oh wow. Was
Um,
it AI generated?
Maybe. No, I drew it myself.
That's
Hospitality.
You see, it sort of is floating in what seems to be in space or very far away from any planet or anything. But even though it's open topped and there doesn't seem to be any roof of any sort, you can breathe fine, you can talk fine. Seems to be mostly empty, except for these sort of self-sustaining candles, which are ever glowing around the room and don't seem to give off any noticeable heat either. And you notice that every now and again there's like floating tools, like floating cloths and floating brushes. They're just going around like tidying up, just pushing chairs aside. Like occasionally, like a book will flap off one of the bookshelves and then organize itself somewhere else.
Fucking hell! What the? I thought we were just going in like some tower or something.
I mean, I've never met a wizard. Well, I have met a wizard, but you know, I always imagined wizards had like a place like this just tucked away in their toilets or something.
It can be like that sometimes, Cadell says. You
Can I
should
do
see
a-
their toilets, it's very impressive.
I mean, this ain't normal.
Yeah. Can I do so? Looking up above the kind of the stars and the kind of skyscape.
Yeah.
Because of I guess Cascus's time on the sea, and doing a bit of navigation.
Oh, do you recognize like the any of the
Yeah, I mean,
stars?
does it look like the kind of the sky of Earth?
Make a perception check.
Oh, my thing is.
I heard that as a deception check, and it's like, are you lying to yourself?
I got a 17.
You would like normally look for major constellations and sort of very recognizable stars. You don't seem to notice any of those. The sky does seem to be somewhat different and novel. Cadell says, "Yeah, never gets in the way of a wizard and a good skyscape, huh?"
Right, do you know where we are?
Well, believe it or not, we are still on Erd.
Oh, so that's like just pointing at the ceiling.
Yeah, it's an illusion. It looks good there, doesn't it?
Oh, okay, okay, that's much
Why
more
does he
reasonable.
have an illusion of the stars just up there?
I mean, it looks nice, right? Like,
It does look nice, but that's a bit like much, right? Wouldn't you think?
Is it an illusion of when, rather than where?
Very possibly. Come on, we can't sit and linger here too long. We gotta get going.
let's get on with it.
All right, can everyone make a stealth check for me, please?
Sure.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use a legend point. Rick has turned himself.
I'm gonna use my focus spell.
Can I use assurance spell?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
And I am currently a master of stealth. So
Okay.
that's 10 plus 28, I think. I could be wrong.
10 plus 20.
Well, isn't like assurance like 10 plus your proficiency? And I
Yeah,
know
so,
it's
so
even
it's
level
yeah,
for
so it's like your
proficiency.
proficiency, but without your without any items, without any other modifiers. So not even your dex.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. My proficiency in it, I think, is master plus 17. Where's that?
Okay.
Wait, no, hang on. I think it's just 30 or something.
So it'll be an auto
Like that.
27.
Yeah.
Cool. Kelsey, did you use a legend point? When you used-
I did not.
Okay.
That is a natural one for a total of 12.
Cool, fantastic. So, as you're being led through a nearby corridor by Cadell, you just sort of are running past, and Calcifer, you bump into what seems to be one of those broomsticks that's going around.
Watch it.
It begins just whacking you. Like it's not doing any. It's not really hurting you. It's just like it's like no, stop. It's just
stop,
whacking at you again
Bad.
and again.
Bad broom. Bad broom.
Psh, psh, psh. Cadell's like, "What are you doing? Stop it!
Can I
Don't
grab it?
fight it."
Can I grab it?
Yeah, you can make a grab.
36.
Okay.
don't think it
36. You grab it. You grab it, but then it's still whooshing around. So do you want to hold on to it?
Grabbing you.
I'm just sort of trying to stop it from bashing me.
Yeah, it's you're sort of like holding onto it, and you're keeping it far enough away so it's not bashing you. But then it starts like occasionally like thrusting itself into the air and like lifting you up a couple of feet. And before long, you're about 10 feet up in the air, and it's sort of starting to float up and just all over the bookshelf. And Cadell's like, "What are you doing? Stop this!" It bashes into a bookshelf, and all the books start to tumble down.
Oh, you dullard!
Fuck. Yeah, I'll let go.
All right, make a dexterity check to land.
It's a
please.
reflex save. Is it?
Reflex save, yeah.
22.
Okay, so you how much damage would 20 feet be? 10 damage, right? So you take 10 points of falling damage.
Yeah, the DC is typically 15, but it might be higher.
Yeah.
Though. Oh no, that's if. Oh no, sorry, that's if you have a fly speed.
Yeah. And you just crash into one of the tables and break one of the tables. It crashes in half.
Ah. Fucking
Cadell
broom.
rushes over to you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Just like
He
look
gives
at
you a
the
hand.
broom and shake my fist.
God, I
Kind
don't
of
know what's going on. You see the broom like fly off, and it goes around the corridor.
Consider throwing the shield at it.
Can if you want.
Yeah, fuck it.
as it flies off. All right, make it. Is it a? Was it a? What
It's
check is
just
it?
an attack.
It's just an attack. It's a melee attack, right?
Yeah, so it's like a 60-foot melee attack.
Oh my fucking god!
I don't know whether the intention with the theming of it is it's like a portal or something, or it's just like extending out. But that seems a little weird on a shield boss.
Mm.
Oh, that was 24.
Okay. 24. That flies off. It hits it, and it just smashes it in half. Your shield returns. Yeah, that's just to break it. Your shield returns to you, and it sort of crashes onto the ground. Oh my god! I cannot believe you just did that. Good else.
I mean, it seems better than what was happening a moment ago.
Right. How about from now on we try to avoid picking fights with cleaning equipment?
I wasn't picking a fight. I was defending myself. Let's just keep going.
You were defending yourself from a broom.
Yes, it was hitting me, and it was making a lot of noise.
Well, let's move away from the table that is now broken, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, we're following.
All right. So as you yeah, as you turn around and begin heading down the corridor, you hear a big slam coming from one of the corners ahead of you, one of the corridors ahead of you, and you hear footsteps start coming down a door just before you. Cadell stops and is like, hide, quick, go.
I use my cloak to be invisible, and I hide.
Alright.
I have no such skills.
So you're sort of forced back into this central room here. So let me just I'll put you all here, and you can sort of hide yourselves around the room.
I'll hide underneath the pile of broken table.
I like to imagine like you're laying like paint me like one of your French girls into the pile of broken table in case you just get spotted and have to chop your way out of there.
Why is Calcifer gone?
Jump
You
up
gotta
and like hide on the ceiling.
how high up
Get a
can you
corner
jump?
of the scene.
Not that high. I'm not gonna do that.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
so
I'll just
you're
try
all-
and hide under the big table, I guess, because I'm big.
All right. You need to all do me a stealth check and send it to me privately.
Do I get a bonus with this one because I'm invisible?
Yeah, you'll get a circumstance bonus of +4.
Blind jam roll.
Yeah, blind gem roll.
So, okay. Do I legend point this? I've only got one. I will use a legend point on this.
Okay. Are you hiding under the table?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm like gonna go like under the table, but try and like hold myself up against it, so if he looks underneath, I'll not be there.
Oh my god.
Your arms, your limbs are like the legs of the table.
There's no way you fit under that.
All right. So you all go and hide anywhere you can in that room. After a few moments, you notice some footsteps leading. What seem to be echoing down. You can't quite tell how heavy they are, but it seems to almost be like a clank, like a one normal footstep and then a clank, normal footstep, clank. Until going around the corner, you recognize an old man walking around the corner in his pajamas. You notice one of his arms and sort of half of his side is a kind of arcane clockwork, and even though he's sort of wearing a kind of a sleeping mask just pulled slightly up on his forehead, his eyes look a bit suspicious as he looks around the room. He has kind of grey hair, kind of like cut a bit short, and he's got a bit of a beard. Obviously, half of his body is kind of almost burnt away with some sort of arcane magic, and he's darker skin. Cadell kind of looks over at all of you as you're sort of all hiding. After a moment, he says, "I recognize that smell. Come out, Tarash, and face me." Cadell gets up after a moment and says, "All right, you got me."
Is that the accent that he says it with?
It is a. He seems to be putting on a bit of a booming
Okay.
voice. So it's hard to tell. And after a moment, Cadell says, "All right, Gideon, you got me."
I knew it. I
Yeah.
knew it.
Do the rest of you get out of your hiding spots?
No?
No, I don't trust it.
No, I'm high.
Kalsar is going to try and hold the position for as long as he can.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay put unless he
I don't know how.
needs proof of what he's doing.
I don't know how long I can stay pinned to the underside of this table, but
Gideon, after a moment, says, "It's been 40 years.
Yay!
Yay!
It's been 40 years, Cadell. Or should I say, Pietro?" Cadell says, Yes, I'm sorry. I've done a lot of soul searching and changing, and I'll come on, the rest of you, come out of here. Stop embarrassing me.
I am cackling as I come out. I'm just a pathetic. I've been doing soul searching.
You all reveal
just-
I assume you all reveal yourselves.
I just let go of the table and just clank to the floor. It's like crawl out and like stand up and just like hunch the shoulders a bit and just like
Reassert
like
your
a school
manliness.
child ready to be told off.
Gideon says, he says after a moment, just be aware that I would have instantly disintegrated you all if you had attacked me. But, well, who do we have here? Cadell says, hey, listen, I know this seems very strange, but just understand that we were doing this all for her. He points at Neo.
I wave. Hello.
The wizard, the archmage before you, raises an eyebrow.
It's true. You may not believe that guy over there for reasons that we've recently understood quite well, I say, staring at him.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're just trying to help her out.
also, I'm sorry about your broom and your table, Mr. Gideon.
He rushes over to the table and he looks at it and goes, that table was a very old table.
You're a time wizard, are you not? Can you not do a clicky click and change it back?
Yes, I can actually. He clicks his fingers and the table repairs itself.
Oh wow.
He picks up the broom, holds it in. He holds each side in each hand and says, "Did you do this with a shield?"
Maybe.
That's very good aim. Right. Well, how the hell did y'all even get here?
Oh my god!
Why has Gideon become a Texan?
Absolutely.
He's been traveling.
Yeah.
I'll spend some time in Ashmalin.
I mean, I spent all my life in Ashmore, never heard anyone talk like that.
The Wild
It's
West.
the archaic speech.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not a lot.
What are we doing here? Well, Mr. Gideon, we are here because our friend Hanira here was infected, poisoned rather, by
I
a.
take my top off
Oh,
to show the
Hanira!
wound.
Stop flashing people.
I've got a bra on. Come on. Or the equivalent, corset, bustier, you know, that sort of thing. Stay.
Gideon says, "Oh wow, that is some serious illness that you've got."
don't suppose you can reverse that?
Let me have a look. He takes out like a little. He sort of takes out a little lens for his eye, and you notice that half of his face and his eye is mechanical, or some sort of clockwork thing that is just got some illusion over it. He takes his eye out and replaces it with another kind of lens, and he looks at your wound. It seems to glow with some sort of arcane energy, as he does so. That is some. That is something I've never seen before. And Cadell says, it is extract of silent root. There is no prognosis for survival. We are here to get the antidote. And Gideon says, yes, well, I'm not sure how I can help with that. I don't have that. Cadell says, after a moment, well, I had let the group know, this group, that is very important to the survival of Adana, that you have a time stone. And Gideon kind of looks at him and is like, how the hell did you know about that? Cadell kind of backs off and says, it doesn't matter. Please, is there any way you could just let bygones be bygones? And Gideon goes, it's a very dangerous artifact. Hope you know that. He looks at all of you. I don't know what he was planning. He might have been trying to fool you. But I could see it happen. If you want it. I need people to experiment on it.
Yeah?
Oh,
What
you,
kind of
yeah.
experiments?
Well, I've tried it a bunch, but every time I try it, I can't experiment on it from this side. So
So you don't have any apprentices or anyone like that?
just a second. He says, no, apprentices, no. I'm surprised that you're even here. I'm not sure how you got here. You notice that he seems almost like he's been, I don't know, like isolated, a bit lonely. Like he kind of comes across almost like he hasn't been in contact with anyone for a little bit. His skin's quite sort of clammy. He's got a bit of like a suspicious, nervous twitch to him. Even though he's sort of like being a bit forward and friendly with you now, he just seems to be almost distracted by something, even when he's speaking to you.
Would we know who this is?
You might have heard of the wizard Gideon.
You need us to roll on it, or?
Who has society or history proficiencies?
I
I
do.
have
I do.
expert in society.
So do I.
I do too. But I wonder if people from Orthaid would have a better chance of knowing who he was.
I could Hannah can probably
Yeah,
tell
if you're
you
from
who
Orthaid.
who she thinks he is. Which is probably very different to who he actually is.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trained
Yeah.
in society, but
So can people from Orphan do it, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I did it as a private roll again, but you got it.
Oh, cool. Right, both Cascus and Henning, you both know of the wizard Gideon, legendary member of the Clive Five, who's famous in Orthaid, mostly around the Dancing Coast, Port Dalron, and Tarsan. He seems to, like, as far as you can tell, he's lived there for as long as you know. It's been a little while since you heard any news about him. He says, so how did you get here, actually? And Cadell says, oh, go on.
No, I was going to say talk to Cadell.
Oh, right, yeah. Cadell says, well, it was a bit of a backdoor way in, but I have my ways. You shouldn't leave bags of holding just lying around. And Gideon says, very interesting. I'll need to sort that out after you go. I hope no one else has got him.
do you just not like company, or
Well, recently I've had some problems. And to be perfectly honest, Cadell, since I got your letters, and Cadell sort of like shakes his head a little bit and says, sorry, you said my letters. And Gideon says, yes, which is why I wasn't so surprised when I saw you here. If I hadn't been in contact with you. then yeah, maybe I would have been a bit more upset.
Well, if you're a time wizard, were you in contact with this Cadell or another Cadell?
Cadell says, "I've never sent you a letter in my life."
Never sent a letter yet.
Gideon says, "Right. Well, maybe maybe it is a future you. Who knows?" That being said,
If I look at those letters.
oh sure, why not? He leads you. He leads you onwards if you want to come with him.
Yeah, sure.
To just like a study, just off the main part of the library. He ruffles through a whole bunch of correspondence. There's maybe like 30 or 40 letters he sort of hands over in a box. Most of them are just sort of back and forth sort of conversations about just reconciling and just apologizing for things in the past. Cadell sort of looks at them and goes, "I did not send these."
Are these-
Is it your handwriting?
No.
So someone's pretending to be you to make up with your past. I want to say X. I keep saying X. You seem like X's to me.
No, I tried to kill him a few times, but
Oh, that's bad.
And if I remember correctly, you did at one point.
oh well. Yes, and then he freed me from being captured by a demon.
Did he
And
do
then-
so knowingly?
Gideon looks at Cadell and says, yeah, and then he ran off. He was going to help us. So. Cadell's like, awkward. Gideon says, yes, well, to explain why I've might have come across as a bit twitchy. I haven't really been in contact with many people over the last decade or so.
Is that because you just don't like people,
No, and to explain better, well, it all started 30 years ago. My companions, Morna and Scrimshaw, you might have heard of them. They travelled to Eshmelin to discover the tomb of the trespasser. It was said
we
that
met some of her lot.
right. Well, this is where I'm going. It is said that that's where the trespasser's body was kept, and because she died, it was a whole thing. She died, and they wanted to bring her back. They went there to try and bring her back, but they disappeared while they were there. I tried everything to find them, but it's as if they vanished into thin air.
It was this was more than Scrimshaw and who else?
It was just Morning Scrimshaw.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I couldn't find the location they discovered. I traveled to Eshmelin. I asked every source I could, but anyone related to their disappearance or knew of them had also gone missing.
Could you not use your time stone thingy?
It doesn't quite work in that way. You can't quite interact too much with other people. You'll see if you use it.
I see.
What's the...
Did you not have other friends who could help you, or?
Well, I, at the time, was trying to work it out. I thought I was going mad, so I returned to my studies. And me and my friends, Shunuk and Roxon, they helped for a while. But then one day, and this was about 10 years ago, I tried to visit the Feywild to see them. And that's where they had made their home. But when I travelled there, all trace of them had gone as well. Their home, gone. they had never been there. Like all the buildings in the Feywild had never been made.
Oh, that's bad.
That's just
Nobody remembered them either.
there was no one to ask in the Feywild. They had all gone.
Nobody at all in the Feywild.
Go there yourself if you don't believe me.
I mean, I've seen Fae before. I haven't seen the Feywild. Nix, have you seen the Feywild?
A long time ago. Not since going to the Gloom. Gideon's like, who the hell is that?
Oh, that's an immortal elf that turned into a weird Fae thing. It's a thing.
I will very much need to. Yeah, he's like, I will very much need to hear your side of the story in a second. But I have my suspicions as to what is going on my end. But then recently, getting your letters, Telash, I thought. And Cadell says, yes, I don't know. I have no idea why you got something like that. I never sent you anything like that.
This is very strange.
Why would anyone want to fake letters to get you on better terms with Gideon? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, unless it was you.
Maybe without those letters, we arrived here, and you weren't so happy to see us.
Cadell says, so you're saying that potentially it was so that we would have a conversation like this?
Maybe. Can I see the letters?
Yeah, like he's got them in front of you.
Hand them
There's literally nothing of any. It doesn't seem to be
Okay.
anything of any use at the moment. It's like, sorry for all the things I did. Maybe we should visit. Maybe I should visit sometime. It would be nice to catch up. It's like 30 letters like that. There's no return address either.
So,
They're just all saying the same thing.
They're along the same lines, yeah.
Right.
Mr. Gideon,
Mhm.
this like time magic stuff. What basis does it work on? Is it like multiple timelines, same timeline, some weird, who knows, magical mishmash of the two?
Gideon
what's the
says
deal?
there is a inbuilt protection. I'm not entirely sure how it was made because this is an artifact that I have acquired. But when something happens that is fundamentally against the time stream, it clicks off and you're returned back to the time you came from. So anything that happens is something that's okay, I guess.
So it clicks off before it can happen.
Yes, it's sort of a protection mechanism. The second the time stream gets tested, you come back.
like those people who jump off the boats in the big metal suits to look for treasure on bottom of sea. The second things get wrong, we get hooked up
Sure.
in a bubble.
Yeah,
Yes,
just have to hope the cord doesn't get cut and you're just
Exactly.
down there.
A question. So is your, if I may be so blunt with you, your current inability to leave this place, it is born out of the fear that you too will disappear if there are cracks into your space.
Oh no. My fear is that that my friends and I have an enemy that is after us.
Well, from what I understand, you made quite a lot of enemies in your time.
I have my suspicions about who it is.
And we know this suspicion because, if this is involving us now.
Well, I do not think it does involve us, no?
No, but, It might do. It might not do.
Well, I mean, if
He-
it's,
like
I mean,
involve us for reasons.
I mean, if
sits
it's
you...
Naruzatar, then maybe.
Wait,
Yeah.
how do you know the name Naruto?
He found his book.
Ah, yes, the grimoire.
You found his what?
Why are we just telling people this?
I don't know. He seems pretty
Gideon-
trustworthy.
Gideon sits you down at the table and says, Naruto is the enemy that is after me and my friends too. He says, 40 years ago, we fought a wizard who was very powerful. And in his last moments, he revealed that he was allied with Naruto. He screamed as he died for Naruto. And at the same time, he had killed the trespasser, the one god who still worked on the divine realm, guiding souls to their afterlife. However, I suspect that Naruto has replaced the trespasser, or at least fundamentally done something so that her influence is no longer heard.
Hmm.
He is using his power, which I fear he has acquired, to remove all traces of my friends and I from the world.
Well, if you still remember him, and clearly other people still remember him, then he must not have used like time magic, right? Because otherwise, it'd be gone from your memory too.
Well, this is why I am concerned, because I own the only time stone. So if it has happened, it is in my future, not my past.
So you want to stay here and protect it.
Which is why I've locked myself away from the world.
So we
Which
fuse
Which
this
is why I am concerned about the fact that you have brought an artifact that belongs to Naruto in here. Cadell says, how many of us are there here? Hang on. 1, 2... How many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
and Nix and
Yes, I don't have a
Hank.
shadow. Hank? Yeah. Okay,
But
I don't have a
he's
shadow.
banned.
Nyx doesn't have a shadow. So why are there 7 shadows in this room? You all look down, and yeah, there seems to be a shadow coming off everyone, and then like right in the corner, just hiding, a shadow just in the corner of the room. It just wisps into one of the walls, and Gideon sort of jumps up. Follow it! Don't let it go!
Throw the shield at it.
Peter Pan.
All right, can everyone? I'll roll you all as an initiative just here for now. All right.
So I assume then, like, Naruto can't wipe out Gideon from the time stream because otherwise he never gets time stone.
Depends how it works.
What kind of shadow thing do I have here?
I always find shadow stuff really creepy. I don't know why. There's something really creepy about it.
Yeah. So as you sort of come out of Gideon's office, you run back into the main library. I don't have an image of Gideon here actually.
We've got old ones. Got plenty of them.
Got what?
Plenty of old ones.
Hold on. Just bear with me 2 seconds.
1, 2.
Haha.
Haha.
Buckle my shoe.
3, 4.
Shut.
I'll just put it here for now. Just put this here. Oh yeah, rushing out. One by one. Can everyone roll initiative for me, please?
Sure.
Perception. Yes, please.
Bum.
So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do like a kind of chase. I'm gonna put it in different zones. Henning, did you roll initiative?
Yeah.
It's not on there. 27, you got right? Ignore that. Just put you out to Counselor. Alright, so yeah, you rush out into the main arcane library, and there's a sort of a spiritual, a shadow creature, spirit, kind of floating just in the center of the room, and you can't quite get to it, but it's not quite doing anything. It's just looking at you and spying. So just off the bat, Hanera, what are you gonna do? Gideon points up at it and he's like, "What is that thing? It must belong to Naruza."
Did you recall knowledge?
Yeah, sure. Arcana check maybe, or religion.
Well, I did Arcana, but I can do religion if you want this -3 for the check.
Arcana's fine.
30.
What did you want to know about it?
What is it? He asked me what it was, so.
It seems to be a shade or something, like maybe a shadow or a shade. The kind of creature it is, it doesn't seem to have much form. It just sort of almost kind of blends in with the surroundings. But now it's kind of been pointed out, and you see it just floating there in the center of the room. It's very weird. It's got almost like, as you look at it, it's almost got two kind of dark red eyes that are sort of just looking down at you all.
Spooky.
You gonna do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a level 1 magic missile at it. Just
Okay.
one.
Is that with 2 actions or?
Yeah, I guess I'll do 2 then.
Okay.
I just want to see what it does, really. That is 5 damage.
Yeah, your magic missiles just shoot right through it. And it just sort of harmlessly goes through it, and it just blasts off into the distance.
Sorry, when I asked what it was, is there anything that will damage it? Could I know from that?
Well, from that plus your experience at shooting a magic bolt at it, it seems to be almost like an almost incorporeal kind of, maybe the sort of thing that wizards or liches might use to spy, like the kind of orb that, like the kind of orbs,
eye.
like a sort of scrying eye. Yeah.
I
Almost.
have prying eye. That means.
Oh yeah, prying eye. Seems to be.
I think it can be just. I have to spell magic, so I guess I'll use that next time if
Cool.
Gideon doesn't use it.
Cool. Science.
So I saw that Hanera's missile just went right through it, right?
Yeah.
I don't really have magic potential when it comes to dispelling stuff. So, I'm kind of at a loss here as to what I can actually do.
You don't have to do anything potentially, or you can go off and try and do something else. You're just in the initiative order for now.
Not
Not necessarily in combat.
I'm going to ask Gideon if he keeps his scroll somewhere. If he has like a special scroll I can use.
Yeah, Gideon says to you, I should have a detect magic scroll or a dispel magic scroll somewhere.
I'm gonna start looking for it.
All right, make a perception check for me to investigate.
Okay, perception. $38.
Cool.
Mhm.
38. All right, so having a look around, you find a whole bunch of scrolls, and yes, one of them in a sort of little locked away cubby is is both a detect magic scroll and a dispel magic scroll.
Right.
That'll be
How-
moving as well.
Okay. So how many actions do I have left?
That let's say the seek was an action as well, so that'd be 3.
All right, that's my turn then.
Cool. Oh, yeah, because you're opening drawers and stuff and picking up. Cascus.
Cool. So Cascus is gonna first of all just ask Gideon which way is the time stone, like in quite like quietly as he can.
Yeah. Gideon turns to you and says, "The time stone is just round there.
Voice down, please.
Just points over at basically behind where the picture where the library is to the left."
Okay, I'm then gonna go the other side of it. I'm gonna move over to the other side, the right hand side of the room, and use enthrall.
Mhm.
So it's a will save. So I start like directing a kind of. If the creature speaks the same language, then there's no difference. But if they don't speak common, which I guess is what I do it in, it can grant you a +4 circumstance bonus when you do the save.
Okay.
Just FYI, but it sounds like that person might know common who's not receiving it. But anyway, so it's a will save, if you may.
Okay.
28.
Will.
28.
Yeah.
24 if you don't speak common.
What spell are you? Sorry, I can't. What spell are you doing?
Enthrall. Your words fascinate your targets. You speak or sing without interruption throughout the casting and duration. Targets who notice your speech or song might give their undivided attention each target. So, but the fairly basic, you become fascinated. It can attempt another will save if it witnesses actions or speech with disagrees.
Hang on, just a second. That is a 36. Sorry, that is a 41.
Okay, so that's that.
A 45, sorry.
Okay, so if it's a 45, then it's a crit success. The target is unaffected and notices that you tried to use magic.
You hear like a sort of cackling coming from the shapeless shadow.
41 is a big roll.
45 in total.
45. I worry who's on the receiving end.
Yeah, you hear a deep rumbling voice coming from with it saying, "Gideon, your end is to come. I have foreseen it, as I've foreseen all of yours. Now, to finish the job." All right, Calcifer. Oh, did you have any more?
I guess the only other thing I wanted to just say to Gideon would be I don't know if I had the time, but basically if there's anything you need us to know or as to, now would be a good time to tell us.
Yeah. All right, Calcifer.
I would like to try and position myself in between it and the party.
Okay.
So I don't know where exactly people are.
Let's say you just jump up on the table.
Yeah, but the idea is
It's not this table, which is broken.
the idea being to be able to glimpse of redemption or shield block or whatever most
Sure.
effectively. And then I will raise a shield and summon Hank.
Okay. Okay.
That's it for me.
Cool. Henning. Sort of more an opportunity for you guys to get ready.
Yeah, I guess I'll just ready an action if it comes at me.
Mhm.
Ready action. So.
Cool. All right. So and then Cadell. Cadell sort of takes out his kukri and says, "I don't like the sound of this." Top of the round, you watch as Gideon says, "Be careful, it's gonna change. I can feel it." You watch as the shadow rises a bit further up in the sky, and then kind of begins to split in half, and you notice that all these strands of arcane energy seem to be holding it together as two sort of halves begin to pull out, almost like you're pulling out like a dough. And it begins to stretch, and the space in between it begins to warp, and a portal begins to open up, and it just begins to crackle. As you watch as this black arcane portal. It's not black, but begins to open up in the sky. Just a second, bear with me. And then in a moment, sorry, it's hard to find everything quickly. You see, coming out of the portal are a number of winged kind of creatures that they have like they're almost like shadow creatures mixed in with human or human-esque have a look to them. They seem to they wear a sort of armor style which you recognize as the armor of the ancient scions of Carnea. But these creatures are mutated beyond kind of all recognition. And the portal is just open, and these things seem to be flying in. Gideon shouts out, "Oh no. You need to run, now, to the time stone." But you have a choice if you want to stay and fight, or Gideon says, "I can hold them off."
What is the consequences if they get hold of this room?
It's about the time stone. If they get hold of that.
You should probably do what he says.
Calcifer, throw me up. As high as you can.
You're going to have to toss me.
God's sake! God sake!
So it's Henera, it's your turn, by the way.
Yeah.
Is she here?
Right. Yeah, I'm here. Can I do another check on them to see what they are?
You've never seen these things before in your life.
Not even read about them.
No, these are new.
Okay.
You've never heard of these. They seem like humans that have been mutated. They've got now wings sprouting from them, almost kind of arcane necromantic magic been used. They all also seem to have a sort of sense of the gloom about them somehow.
Okay. I'm gonna try and banish one of them.
Okay.
I never used the spell. I took it recent. I changed it out the tentacle one for this one last level, so it's new.
Banish.
Please will save, please. I'll just do the one at the front.
One at the front.
Hmm.
That is a 6. So that's a
Oh.
crit fail.
It is a crit fail.
It has been
They
banished.
can't ban it. They're banished and can't return by any means.
Yeah.
For 1 week. Right. And then I'm
Nice.
gonna walk to the edge of the room. And
Yeah,
like
but it doesn't look like the portal's finished opening. So.
Oh,
so-
I should have cast a spell magic. Okay, that's fine. Gideon can cast that. As well.
Yeah, it's more that there's probably going to be more coming through here. It seems. It seems to open up into a different realm.
Right. I didn't just imagine if I just cast it back into the other plane and then they walked back through. I know they can't come back through.
Then maybe it'll try to come through, but block the entrance and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why can't I get through?"
We have to walk single file through this portal.
Did Gideon take a turn last round because he's not on the tracker?
Yeah, so he's doing arcane stuff in the background. Don't
Yeah, cool. In that case, I'm gonna try and leave.
Okay, so you start running down the corridor towards the time stone.
Mhm.
All right, Cyan.
How many actions would it be to use this scroll in my hand? The spell magic one.
Well, you've got it in your hand, so be this. Hang on.
It's 1 action plus the regular actions.
Yeah, so it'll be 3.
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but I have to give it a shot. I'm gonna look towards the portal and try a dispel magic on it.
All right, you need to make a counteract check. Hang on.
Okay, what do I roll for that?
So you need to. What? So this spell is dispel magic. Just a second. So dispel magic. Attempt to counteract check against the target, and the counteract check rules. So the relevant skill modifier, or other appropriate modifier. So
So that'll be in the trick magic items feat, maybe.
I guess you could do an Arcana check. I guess.
I'm gonna use a legend point.
Have you used 2 today?
I haven't used any today.
Okay.
27?
That's a fail. That's a crit fail.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Okay, well that's my turn then, I guess.
Cool. Just a second. I'm gonna set something else up. Oh, who's next? Cascus.
Yeah, can I?
Alright,
delay
you start
my-
seeing these creatures flying through the portal.
Okay, more nice. I'm gonna delay my action. Stand next to Calcifer and start like channeling this kind of like fiery stuff, kind of in my kind of. You can kind of see it
Mhm.
coming over him.
Okay.
I think I should be full health. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
So what you? So you?
get- So I'm delaying my action for Calcifer's turn. Once he's done his turn, because it was one of his
So
actions. I don't know how.
So it's an
If you
action to
can.
it's an action to ready another action.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's a
So
2-action spell, so
So that'll be all 3 actions just to do that. So you wouldn't be able to move.
that's fine. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so I'm like here or something.
But I don't know whether I was already next to him or whatever.
yeah, I mean, I'd be about. Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm just waiting to be thrown up. So.
Okay, cool. All right, Calcifer.
Okay. Do I need to move to Cascus, or would I already be next to him?
Yeah, let's say it's just a short move over to him, unless he's walked. Actually, maybe he's walked over to you. That's
Okay.
fine.
I shall toss Cascus.
Okay, make a strength check. Athletics, sorry.
Athletics. I can
I'm
do
willing.
this. Oh, I think I may have a thing actually. One sec. Okay, no, I don't. I don't know if this works. So, with the lifting belt,
Yeah.
it's. Oh, it won't let me copy and paste that. I'll have to go to on Nethys. So, when you activate it, let me just paste this in the thing. You can lift an object up to 8. Does it count as an object? Are creatures objects in Pathfinder?
I say yeah, I'll allow it.
So you can lift an
Is it-
object up to 8 bulk, as though it were weightless. Is a person 8 bulk?
I think you're
creatures.
probably heavier than 8 bulk.
A medium creature is 6 bulk, but then he's probably carrying more than 2 bulk worth of things, so never mind. I'll just try and toss him normally.
Okay.
Just tossing your friend normally.
Yeah.
The straight heterosexual way.
Yeah.
Tossing friend.
The 39.
All right. Yeah, I'd say that gets good
I'm
20,
willing.
20 feet up in the air.
Yeah, so I'm just going
25
to
feet.
it's a 30-foot and emanation.
Okay. Say because Calcifer's on the table. Let's say he's 5 feet up.
Okay.
So that'd be 30 feet. Let's say it just about misses everyone else, except for Calcifer. He'll be in it. But...
Okay, cool. I'm going to use. I have a few options, but I'm just going to use repelling pulse.
Okay.
7d10 force damage. It's a 30 DC reflex save. Failures, full damage, push 10 feet away. And if they're flying, or maybe not for this one. Don't worry. If it's a crit failure, they take double damage and they're pushed 20 feet away, and then they're all prone. 41.
Nice.
So-
Yeah. That.
Was it dex save?
Yeah. These ones.
DC's 30 reflex, yeah.
So Cascus turns into a firework for a turn.
Pew! Just like sparks.
It's force damage.
All right. All right. So they all crit fail. So one by one, you zap them, and you hit them with your apparition of magic, and they all sort of collapse into dust and disappear as you then fall back down to the ground.
Does the spell do anything to the portal?
The spell does not. The portal seems to crack open more and more.
Okay, well, we tried.
Okay. So for my remaining actions, I will activate the clockwork shield to give myself an extra reaction that I can use to shield block, and I will raise a shield.
Cool. Henry?
Am I in the air at the moment or on the ground?
No, you need to make a dex save to land.
I think the dex save is only if you can fly. I think otherwise you just take it, unless you have some
right.
kind of feat.
Oh yeah, actually there might be.
How
Might be a
much
feat,
damage am I
actually.
taking?
So it'll be 10 damage.
Yeah, 'cause it's... Yeah. Cool.
All right, Henning. Henning? Who there? Alex here?
Alex?
Alex!
Is he muted?
No.
No,
He's
not on
just
Discord.
used to playing Baldur's Gate when Richard's turn takes about 3 hours.
All
So
right.
he's probably just
Sweet.
gone.
No, he's not at his
to read a
computer.
book or something. No, I
All
don't
right.
know.
We'll carry on. So at the start of the next turn, so Cadell is just ushering you all away. I would be careful. Gideon said to leave. You watch as the cracks in the portal get bigger. Large, jagged cracks in the fabric of space and time begin to rip out and tear out like tentacles. Speaking of tentacles, Calcifer and Cascus, can you make a reflex save each as the portal opens up and more of these creatures fly through? So do some almost tentacle-like grasping pseudopods.
Reflex save. I'm going to do a legend point on it. It's a 37.
Calcifer?
39 with a natural 20. So,
Cool.
I hope that's a great success.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alex is back.
Alex is back. Do you want to take your turn now, Alex?
If you catch me up, can you just quickly catch me up to speed?
Yeah, so the portal just opened up, and more creatures began to fly through, as well as Tentacle lashed out of the portal and tried to whack Calcifer and Cascus, who both dodged it.
Okay, and we're fighting this, yeah.
Well, I think the idea is to leave, because the portal doesn't seem like it's going to be closed or easy.
Okay, well, I'll start leaving. Then,
Okay, so you're going to follow Cadell and Hanera.
yeah.
All right, yeah. So also at the start of the turn, Gideon is mumbling. He's like reading his spell book as he's sort of looking up at the portal, trying to counteract it with all his might. Go, quick, leave. I'll hold them off. All right, Hanera. So you are rushing down the corridor, going to where Gideon said before, where the time stone was, and you open up a corridor which shows you this. You see before you a sort of glass container with like a little panel on it, so you can open it and reach in as well. It's just sort of held there in stasis by this machine at the moment, but there's actually the stone inside which you can take out.
Let's go for that time machine, baby.
Okay, so with your last action, you can reach in and grab it.
Yep.
Okay, you pull it out. Zoom. The rest of the machine powers down, and you've got this shining rock that seems to have almost like fractal-like shapes within it, constantly moving and shifting based on where you look at it. It gives off a sort of radiant light, which is very mystical. Back to here. Cyan.
Using all my actions to follow Hanera and Cadell now because there was nothing else I could do.
Okay, so you're running off. Cascus.
Cascus is gonna kind of run off, but kind of going past Gideon, he says, "If there's anything you want us to hand over, please. Now is probably the time."
Save the time stone. Don't let them get the time stone.
Can I like pick up a pile of the correspondence or something?
Well, the letters.
Well,
Oh yeah, you can take them.
is it just the Cadell ones?
Yeah, it's just the ones he put on the table were just
Fine.
the.
I'll just grab a bunch of stuff.
Okay. You just grab a handful of just random things and just run off. All right, Calcifer.
I'm just going to turn to Gideon. It's like, you got a plan for getting out of there yourself?
The best plan ever. But meet me at the second library. Hopefully, I'll be able to get there in time. I'm just gonna hold them off for a bit longer.
Okay, don't know what that is, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, I will. I'll jump on Hank and kind of go with everyone, like try and block the hallway.
All right, so
And
you
with
all
shield.
rush. You all rush through.
Oh, I didn't know. Do this.
Where's your tokens? They were on here.
So
somewhere.
maybe in...
We're here. We can see ourselves.
Oh,
Yeah,
can
I
you?
can see myself.
Let me just refresh. Cadell runs around the corner and sees you entering the room, Hanera with the time stone in hand. He says, "Is that it?"
I think so.
Fantastic. Right. Let's just wait here.
I'm not going to move because I'm moving.
Is Hanera on this map? Where is it? I
No,
don't
I
know.
know it's not here.
No.
But yeah, I was just going to block the door in case, like, stand in the door so that if they did come, they wouldn't be able to just
Okay.
funnel through.
Cadell says, "Let me have it. Let me have it. Gonna get you off here now." To you, Hanera. Just
Oh yeah. Okay, you can have it.
quick, stand in the circle.
I feel like this is a prank.
It's just a prank, bro.
Classic Gideon
Him
prank.
and Gideon have just been like on this together the whole
Yeah.
time, trying to find a way to mess with us.
Gideon shouts out. You hear like a rumbling coming from the other library, and you hear the voice rumble again. "You will not escape me, Gideon." Then you hear a sort of yell as a large smash happens in the other library, and you hear Gideon's voice booming out some arcane incantation, and then like a really high-pitched scream, not from Gideon, but almost like a magical arcane sort of screech, and a flash of light, and then nothing for a moment, and then you hear sort of all these kind of a buffing of wings as a whole bunch of creatures begin barreling down the corridor towards you. Cadell says, quick, I'm going to set it up. I guess we'll all go in here. I can get us out."
I'm inside.
Well, we'll see.
This does not fill me with hope. But I suppose the alternative is death.
The alternative is always death.
Right, here we go.
And I hope this is better than making biscuits.
All right, you see all these creatures begin to burst into the room as just in a flash of a second, Cadell lets the energy out of this time stone, and a bubble of time goes around all of you. All the monsters you watch. You watch as all the monsters fixed in time, just bursting through the doorway, moving. Like if they are moving, they're moving extremely slowly. As then suddenly there's like a sort of a flash of arcane magic, and they all just disappear, and the entire tower, everything around it, almost is deconstructed brick by brick, and you're flung back. You see all around you the world shifting and changing, and hills eroding, grass growing, and trees growing above it, until there's a flash of light, and you are in a completely strange, abstract world, which we'll get to next session.
Cool.
Hmm.
And when we come
Time
back,
travel.
and when we come back,
Yeah, we're dead.
Straight back into
when we
that.
come back, we're dead.
if
Well,
we have to
maybe
live out the next 10,000 years.
maybe we could come back where we are in the other plane. No, so if we like move a mile, then we might come back like a mile away from where we left.
maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
just
very
get being dragged back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
Right,
it in
Oh.
remember, we need to invest some money, and then
I don't think we can. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Invest in Google
compound
stocks.
interest.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
thank you very much
All
for
right,
the session.
thanks for playing.
Thanks,
Hopefully there'll be some cool stuff in it.
All right,
Yeah, it was great.
see
All
you
right,
next week.
Yeah, see you next time.